the Strength of America podcast.
Welcome to the Strength of America podcast. We're real excited to bring this to you. Myself, after over 30 years of working with athletes from our University of Nebraska out here to our Strength of America athletes here in Arizona, we want to get out to a lot more athletes and parents and kind of help them with answers as what to do. And I've been more excited to bring in my son Bobby, who's been with us. He's been coaching since high school with us through his college wrestling as well, and then back now that he's graduated conditioning coach here in Chandler, Arizona as well. So a little background on why this is important to us and what we want to help bring to you, because our main focus here is helping our athletes, coaches, and parents, give them the tools to succeed. And yes, I'm bringing parents into it because they're a big part of it. Most of our athletes are the 10 to 14-year-old age group that tends to get overlooked by the high school coach and college and getting ready. But I can tell you, after over 30 years of training young athletes, one of my biggest problems are we see so many overuse injuries compared to what we did 30 years ago with athletes training one sport year-round, not doing the proper conditioning to balance and keep them safe. So yes, we've always tried to increase, and a big part of ours is increasing speed and performance, but there's so much more to it than that. As speed camps come up all around the country, one of the things that bothers me is we're focusing so much on the power and neglecting the thing our basis is keeping athletes safe and keeping part of it. So on myself and what brought me to the Strength of America and starting with the program is really initially I had 4 knee surgeries and 3 shoulder surgeries by the time I was 21. So as a young athlete, growing up with wrestling, track, baseball, we didn't really know a lot about prevention of injuries or strength training. And I can tell you as a wrestler, you didn't complain about it. If you did, it didn't do you any good. It was suck it up, or the coaches just didn't understand what to do. It's not that they didn't want to, they didn't know. So you gutted it out, went through it, and after all that surgery and all that work going into it, spent a lot of time in rehab, a lot of time initial work at University of Nebraska was athletic training, but I was excited enough to get the opportunity to work for Boyd Epley as a strength and conditioning coach with him from 85 to 89 back in the Big 8 days, and learned a lot, but also was frustrated because you had the best of all worlds that also had trouble working together. So that's why I left the University of Nebraska back in 89 to come out and start Strength of America here in Arizona, because we wanted to, yes, increase performance, but I wanted to help athletes understand where they're prone to injury, help them to learn how to get involved in it. And we're going to do a lot more, and I'll talk more about that as we go. But I want to introduce Bobby to you, and he can tell you a little bit about his background, why he's excited to get involved in this project as well, and what we're going to be bringing to all of you.
So a little bit about my story. Back in the day, my father told me that if I was going to partake in sports, that I had to participate in his training. And a lot of that was just to help reduce the risk of injury, stay safe, and just have fun while we're part of it. Did a lot of wrestling in elementary, kind of got away from that, went into soccer after that in middle school. And then middle school to high school, I should have been back in wrestling. Of course, as I got older, we looked a little bit more on the performance side, but also trying to mitigate injuries and try to remain safe and have fun and give myself the best opportunity for success that we can have. As we were going through, I noticed that when I started to shift away, and after I was a part of this program, Strength of America, when I went to college, I wrestled up at Colorado Mesa University. The first 3 years, I ran into a lot of troubles, and a lot of that was due to not having a strength and conditioning program that we partook in. We had a coach, but we just didn't utilize him. I found myself losing confidence, found myself getting weaker, more prone to injuries. I had more injuries than I've ever had in my life. And a lot of that led me to realize that upon my senior year, I decided to leave wrestling behind me. Started having a little shift in my passion. My passion started to shift to more so trying to help other athletes achieve their goals. I realized that my time had kind of ended, and I wanted to help others so that way they could enjoy their time and not run into a situation where they lack the confidence or strength or even just being able to participate to the level that they wanted to. So after I finished that, I then went into the weight room. I was an intern and a student assistant later on with all the varsity athletics at the school and down in their weight room in the basement. And we worked with all sorts of teams and sports. From there, I kind of started to venture out on my own and started to help out with some of the club sports there and then youth soccer leagues. That kind of gave me the tools and realization that a lot more people weren't getting this information. The club sports teams there didn't even really know that you could work on speed and agility or practice or train it, which I thought was crazy. They just thought weight room based and that was it. And a lot of them were just bodybuilding in the rec center. But after that, when I came back to Strength America, came back down to Arizona, became a part of a prep school program, and now it just led me to realize my passion. My passion really shifted. I saw a lot of kids at the school, in the high school, the prep school setting that lacked the knowledge of even what a dumbbell was and basic things that people aren't doing anymore. People aren't as active or doing as many things. So when I got here, it allowed me to realize that we had a big opportunity to impact these kids to make them stronger and mitigate injuries and increase their performance, but also as a coach to kind of help lead them along a little healthier lifestyle, or a lifestyle where we're building some young characters and molding people. So a lot of that is my why, and why I do what I do, because I love helping athletes. I love helping get them stronger and more physically ready, but I also like seeing them flourish outside of the weight room and sports and seeing them become good people. Yeah.
Yeah, and again, that's what we're excited about. And I think a big part for me, of course, having Bobby with us is terrific, and giving him the freedom also when he gets into college athletics, wanting to expose and kind of learn and see what's happening through there. And I was excited that come back and kind of hear from Bobby that, hey, Dad, you were right. We need to do some things. We got to get back to the basics of it to keep healthy, because to go through that training, and mine all ended up at the end of high school. Like I said, after all those surgeries, was never had the opportunity to be able to compete in college, lost scholarship opportunities. It just couldn't, body wasn't going to do it anymore. So to have him go through that, get through his high school, junior high, all that competing, and not have any injuries, that's what we were after. Is we want to keep these kids safe so they can get to my age. I say when they get in their 50s, I want them to get out of bed and say, hey, you know what, Bob? Hey, my knees feel pretty good, a lot better than yours did. So if they do that, we're ahead of the game. But I also want performance. We want the best out of these things. And a big part of our training that we're going to lead out to you, and we want you to help us with this, is a big part of it is about personal responsibility. We teach our athletes at our camps and things that we do, and we're going to do that through this podcast as well, is to help them understand it's their responsibility. If they didn't get that extra meal in, it's not always mom and dad's fault. They can make a peanut butter sandwich. They can grab some fruit and vegetables, but they've got to do that on a consistent basis, because I'm not a big believer in the overtraining. It happens, but most of the time with overtraining, it happens because the body's just not ready to go. You're not getting enough sleep, you're not hydrated, and you're not eating enough fuel. And if you're getting the calories, but you're not getting the right proportions, the right amount of protein, the good carbs, your body's just not going to work. Even when you're kids and you've got the best body you're going to have, the most efficient body, but it just isn't going to function if you don't get the right fuel in it. So we're going to teach them a lot of that. So just introducing ourselves to you, what's coming up. Each of our podcasts, which will be a weekly podcast for you, we're going to do interviews with professional athletes. We're going to do them with professional coaches, all different aspects of the field, nutritionalists, chiropractors, pediatricians, everybody, to help you understand the big tools and how to really help your kids not only succeed, but be healthy so they can do that. And the ones who say that helping kids train and do this kind of stuff early takes the fun out of it, I can tell you that from our kids' experience, we help those kids, the average kids, make the team, make the starting lineup. It's much more fun if you're playing than you're sitting on the sideline. And if you're injured, it definitely isn't any fun. So we want to get that. So some of the things that we're going to cover, I know on my end, we're going to do a lot on concussions coming up, ACL injury prevention, rotator cuff, elbow injuries, ankles, backs, swimmers, all different sports involved. And then Bobby as well, we're going to tie into that. Along, he'll tell you about some of the nutrition stuff and some of the things he's really wanting to get involved in this podcast as well.
So my big thing is just going to be kind of doing a little more on some of the nutrition, pre-workout, post-workout, daily ins and outs. So learn how to take care of your body, not just during the week, but throughout the entire week. Obviously, your body's a fine-tuned machine, and if you're not taking care of it, fine-tuning it, you're not going to recover, so you're not going to be able to push yourself. It has to be a daily thing. It's all about consistency. Outside of that, we'll be talking a little bit more on some weight-based training and movement and all sorts of different aspects, and also conditioning. Whether we're in the right mindset of conditioning or we're not. Are we getting something out of it, or are we not getting something out of it?
So appreciate you being part of the Strength of America family. What I want you to do is to reach out to your teams, your leagues, getting them involved into it as much as we can. We want feedback from you on the podcast, so we have each one going every week. But another part of it also we want you to do is let us know what topics you want covered, because you're not the only one thinking it. So click one of the links below. Get a hold of us either through our Instagram or our Twitter, our Facebook group we've got specifically for you guys with the SOA Podcast, or email us at TheSOApodcast@gmail.com. Let us know what you're wanting to do. And as some of the giveaways we're going to do over this first 6 weeks of our podcast going out, the leagues or the teams with the most people that are subscribed to our page, we're going to give out, we're going to have 10 of them we're going to do throughout this year. We're going to do free clinics for your league. So for that, it's typically a 90-minute to 2 hours, depending on the group we're working with. But it's going to be working with coaches, athletes, everything from nutrition, how to eat, how to hydrate, things to do prepare, how to really increase speed, how to increase vertical jump. And yes, we can all increase vertical jump, but it's about how, what you really do with your body. And above all, let's keep them safe. Let's figure out how to do that. So thanks for being a part of it. Thanks for following. Please subscribe, like it, share it with your friends. Let's get the word out and help these athletes.
See you later.